Greetings everyone! We wanted to take a few minutes to let you know of some exciting changes coming this winter to UW Connect, why they're happening, and how they will impact you and the customers that you support. First, we will be introducing a reference number record. It will provide the customer with a single record number they can use to track their issues, even if their original record is converted to a different record type. Second, there will be a streamlined way for you to transfer a customer to another organization using UW Connect, regardless of what type of ticket that organization uses for customer support. How does the reference number work and how will it impact you? Let's take a real-world example and compare what this looks like today and what will change with the reference record. Today, Annie is a UW staff member who is unable to access Workday. She reports the issue to the ISC, creating an HRP case record. The ISC determines that this is not a Workday issue, but that Annie hasn't set up her two-factor authentication in Duo. The ISC agent converts the HCM case to a request record, which is routed to UWIT. Annie is sent a notification that her case has been closed, that a request has been created, and that UWIT is now managing her issue. Having two record numbers for the same issue could cause confusion, especially if she didn't notice the email notification. Let's see what happens when she visits her UW Connect My Request page. The rec is now what displays in her list of issues. She won't see the case on this list, but would find it by clicking the button to include closed requests. This could happen another time. For example, if UWIT realizes this relates to a service outage, her request would be closed, and an incident would be created and managed via UWIT's incident management process. What the reference number does is hide these underlying conversions from the customer. When Annie reports the issue to the ISC and an HCM case is created, a correlating reference number record will automatically be created. She will be provided that reference number alone. When the case is converted to the request, her reference number will not change. And when the request is converted to an incident, that reference number persists. Now her experience on the My Request page is vastly improved. She sees that same reference number and can see what organization has ownership. Wait, does this mean I now have to manage both the reference number and the rec? Nope. Think of the reference number as a shell record that lives on top of the primary ticket, which is your case, request, incident, or ticket. You will still provide the customer with updates via the primary ticket's comments field, and those will automatically pass through to the reference number record. When she reports via the reference number, her comments will in turn pass through to your primary ticket. This process means that the ref will not be actively managed. When you resolve the primary ticket, the ref will resolve. So what will be different on my end? Every incident, request, HCM case, finance case, and UW Connect Lite ticket will have an associated ref. If Annie reaches out to you with a ref number, you'll be able to use that number to get to that primary ticket. The ref will be searchable in the global search, and default list views will be updated to include the reference number. Is that all? Nope. More impactful to you will be how the customer's issue is converted and/or transferred across organizations, and this will be a simplified process from today. Did you know that in addition to UWIT and the ISC, there are more than 40 organizations that subscribe to the UW Connect Service Management and Lite services? When UW Connect Finance launches, the number of subscribers will grow. We need a streamlined, scalable way for agents to transfer records across organizations. Let's say that Foster School of Business needs to transfer a request record to UWIT. Max is a help agent who works for Foster, and he will need to transfer the customer's issue. From his request record, he will click on a transfer button, which will contain the list of organizations. He doesn't need to worry about what type of records that organization uses, and he doesn't need to worry about figuring out what assignment group he should choose. The request will go to the default routing group for UWIT, and then they'll assign it out as appropriate. In this situation, the request is still active, it just changes ownership. Once transferred, the customer receives a notification that a new organization is handling their issue. Every organization using UW Connect will have a default group to which the transfers get initially routed, giving them control over assignment to the appropriate group. There will be times when a transfer will also require a conversion. For example, UW Bothell Commuter Services, who uses UW Connect Lite, wants to transfer the customer issue to UW Bothell IT, who uses UW Connect Service Management. When they initiate the transfer, the organization will update accordingly, and the conversion will happen automatically. What's our goal? Our goal with these features is to provide a streamlined experience for both agents and customers. And we want to avoid unnecessary overhead to those of you managing customer records in UW Connect. Our project team has representation from UWIT, the ISC, UW Connect Service Management subscribers, and UW Connect Lite subscribers. This work will also extend to the Finance Case Management solution that will be launching in conjunction with Workday Finance. When's it coming? Expect these changes to come early winter 2023. You'll find out more later this year. We'll provide self-paced training materials, as well as new and updated knowledge articles. Well, that about wraps it up for changes coming to UW Connect this winter. Hope to see you again soon.